If you've seen the first impressions video that I did on Mindseye, you'll have a pretty good understanding that after 4 hours, I felt that the story was pretty interesting and probably the best thing about the entire game. The gameplay feeling a bit and the world feeling rather dead. I want to start off by talking about the story. The first half of the game in terms of story is probably the best the game is going to get. Heck, even in gameplay it's probably the best it's going to get. And that's saying something. The game does do a good job with setting everything up. The cutscenes and the way that things are animated and stuff is pretty darn good. Like, it's genuinely feels like the cutscenes are well acted, they feel alive, they're not dead. Like, it's genuinely the best part of the game. However, as soon as you get into the second part of the story, it seems as if everything gets thrown out the window and everything just becomes like a really convoluted and confusing mess. Now, I want to get off my chest as to why exactly I feel the way about the story as I do, but I don't want to spoil people. So have a look at the timestamp you've been staring at for a little while to go there and avoid all these spoilers. For those that do want to know why I feel the way that I do, here we go. In the second half of the game, after building up all the different rivals and stuff, you end up having all the main villains narrowly getting away, then fighting your way through a bunch of enemies, and even going as far as to survive a 12-story high fall because he has a metal body that you end up killing in a cutscene after zapping him 3 times. The reason why the bro was falling off a 12-story building is because someone sacrificed themselves. The way a lot of your friendly companions also get shot, like literally every single one of them that you hang out with gets shot and then still magically survives, except for the one that decides to go skydiving without a parachute, just all ends up kind of being for nothing. Really, that's the feeling I was left with, given the fact that the main villains all die in a cutscene, and the final main villain boyo, which is your former military leader, ends up just getting killed in a cutscene because a satellite was dropped on his forehead. Then, out of nowhere, the robots suddenly realized, hey, we can do this ourselves. They run away with the orb, then run to a place, and then Jacob ends up killing himself. And that's it. And that's the entire story. It just feels like such a cop-out. And then there's also like an after-credits cutscene, which just basically alludes to the fact that Jacob is now basically like the main villain and the main robot boyo and stuff, and he's gonna take over the world and setting up for a teaser for a new story content. But I'd be surprised if that's even gonna see the light of day at this point, because that story, it was just so shit. I am sorry, but like the dialogue choices sometimes where at the final bits there's like, oh, here comes the harvest and we are the crop. And at that point I was just like, you know what? I've been mentally checked out of this story for about like 4 or 5 hours at this point. I'm just done. And then there is the gameplay. You're going to be playing long drawn out chase scenes that go on forever, escort the slowest transport of all time, and spend an eternity killing the least exciting enemies of all time. There's no pacing to it. It's just there. It's extremely bare bones, extremely uninteresting. There's no soul to it. There is no enemies that are communicating with each other. Heck, I would take a 5-hour loop of the GTA 5 Merryweather boyos going, I'm gonna shoot them in the neck! Because at the very least, at least then you would have had like the illusion that these enemies are more than just a bunch of peons that you're gonna be shooting at. Like, honestly, I'm better off just going to a target practice thing and then just shoot them, because they have the same amount of emotion and impact as the enemies that you're shooting at. The robots sometimes just feel like they take ages to take down, and the only effective way to really do it is with your little robot gadget, who has the slowest cooldown of all time and is all linked with each other. If I was able to switch in between the EMP and also the grenades, at the very least it'd be like variation and a good reason to use that damn thing. But unfortunately, I sat there just hovering in the air, spamming the G button, hoping I can take down the grenade thing. It's just extremely frustrating. The bare bonus of the game doesn't stop there either, by the way. The side content gets even worse, and that doesn't even touch the free roam, which we will get into in a second. There's a total of 6 checkpoint races, 6 normal races, and also 4 drone races. All of these involve you just driving and or flying through a bunch of checkpoints to beat the time. That's it. There's no friendly AI, enemy AI, or anything that you're racing against, except for a clock, the frame drops, and the traffic that sometimes get in your way, or you can just bust through if there even is traffic, because that's inconsistent as well. Then there's the combat missions, which vary from going from point A to B and killing a bunch of enemies, or having a horde mode, or defending a position. The horde mode, by the way, is 3 waves, and there's only 1 of them. At the very least, they could have made it like endless or something, but nope. No, that's just 3 waves, and that's it. Some of these combat missions also drag on for like 10 minutes, so it's like, I guess I'm just here escorting an extremely slow van. It's just unexciting, weird stupidity. It just isn't fun. Then there is free mode, where, well, there's literally nothing there. There's a few very bare bones activities you can do by doing the exact same things you could be doing by launching them from the menu. They're not the exact same, but they're definitely literally the same at the same time. They're just in a different location. It's also doesn't help the fact that you're not able to steal any cars, because all you get is your Honda Jazz and that's it. There's nothing to explore, there's nothing to do, and there is just really a question of like, okay, you got this entire world that you used, but it seems to be only there for a backdrop for missions, which is fine, but most of the missions that you play within the game are all in the desert, because obviously if you're in the city, you constantly get frame drops, so that might be one of the reasons why. It is baffling to me how the producer behind every single Rockstar game from GTA 3 until RDR2 never for a second thought that the game isn't it. Was it his ego? Was it a team not being able to put the vision into reality? Or was it just simply the fact that the money ran out? You can clearly see that the world building and some of the bits of the Rockstar legacy are very much there. The city is well built, but you can't spend a lot of time there as the performance is horrible, so you spend most of your time driving around through the desert. By design? By avoiding performance issues? Who knows? Even if you spend time in the city, it is dead. It lacks character and really makes you appreciate the fact that Leslie Benzies isn't the end-all and be-all of Rockstar. It's the works of thousands of talented people that also happen to have an unlimited budget. But even then, does it really take that much to add some weight to vehicles, add some ambient sound or even some dialogue to characters in the world or the enemies that you are fighting? There is no soul in the game. It's just a bare bones tech demo with good looking cutscenes that give you the illusion that there is a quality here, when the sad reality is that you're probably better off watching all the cutscenes on YouTube for the best experience. And even then, you're probably wondering what the f you're watching halfway through the story. I'm frustrated by this because it's yet another GTA-like game, but not really, that has fallen flat and confirms yet again that Rockstar is the only one that can do it. And as much as I love Rockstar's games, there is an undeniable truth that there needs to be more competition in that open world crime space. Even if it's just so we just have more games like it to play, so we don't have to wait until we're all 65 that GTA 7 comes out. Mindseye has just left me frustrated for seeing the fact that there is something there, but I don't know if a delay would have done anything, for the simple reason that delaying it further for a couple of months would have put them in the blast zone of Mafia the Old Country, delaying it further than that into the blast zone of GTA 6, and probably with all the delays, there might still not have been a whole lot there. It was probably going to take at least another year or two to turn this game into anything halfway decent. It is a decent game, but there's too many flaws and too many things wrong with it for me to really go like, this is it. There's so many games out there nowadays that do pretty much the same thing, if not better, in terms of story and especially in terms of gameplay. This game is either stuck in the past or stuck in a development hellhole where it just had a vision and then it never became anything. It is frustrating because I wanted this game to be good, but as we got closer and closer to release, it started to look more and more like that was not going to be the case. It is a shame because what this is probably going to mean is that either the studio shuts down and everyone that has worked on it is either going to have like a gap in the resume because this is not going to look good on their resume, or whatever the case may be. It is a lose-lose situation for everyone involved, the people who played the game, the people who paid for the game, and the people who made the game. it is not a good situation, and I do not like that fact. I want more games like GTA in the space so we have more cool games to play. And when a game sucks, it also just sucks. I simply just don't like the fact that the game is as ass as it is. I guess it is what it is. They're working on fixes, there's more content coming, but I'm not entirely sure if they're going to be able to fulfill that. I hope that they will be able to complete, like, you know, their, I guess, potentially contractual obligations of delivering all the content, and maybe it will see like a resurgence like No Man's Sky, but I have serious doubts in that. Either way, those are my thoughts for Mindseye. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.